what you should know. What is love? Here we will talk about love. We will dig into the many facets of love to attempt to understand them, and to enjoy love to its fullest capacity with a hopeful comprehension and a faithful intuition about the future of love. Before we explore too far, let me confidently declare in the first sentence of this series that love is sacrifice. Many people will disagree and keep searching for a better definition, but the sad fact remains that love is sacrifice. When we are done, you will hopefully understand my point of view and sensibly see that no matter how love is directed, for it to be fulfilling, one must be willing to give up something for true love. From the love of self all the way to the love of others and everything in between. If the love is true, the universe will eventually test the love and force a choice. Will you commit to your love or allow yourself to deviate from that love? It's easy to deviate and difficult to remain dedicated. Some people may want a bigger definition. For those who demand more, I'll do my best to serve. Love is defined as an intense feeling of deep attraction by Webster's dictionary. Some people may immediately interpret this as a sexual attraction, but that would be short-sighted. We have love for our children, our parents, and our interests. So if we can feel love for something inanimate, then how do we receive love back? This is the real dilemma. Most people struggle to feel love if they think love isn't being reciprocated. This applies to the love of work, too. If one senses they are not getting back what they're putting in, then they'll question their own passion for the work. Anytime we feel we are not receiving back the energy we are putting in, then our own insecurities surface, forcing ourselves to question the strength of the love. This is where the true definition of love must be understood. To love something should be defined as knowing when your intense feeling of deep attraction is not beneficial to the self. To love is to let go. Consider the most pure loves, like a child and their parents. A parent loves their child unconditionally, at least we all would hope. This unconditional love is collectively understood to eventually end in a separation of the parent and child. As painful as this experience is, every parent and every child manages the stress because they understand it's necessary if they want to grow. However, when two people love each other in a sexual nature, it tends to be very uncomfortable and often unacceptable to separate for the sake of growth. The pain of losing something you love feels so damaging that people tend to do or say anything to avoid the distressed feelings. This is where our concept of love becomes distorted. It was easier to say goodbye to people that raised us from day one than it is to say goodbye to a person we've known for a few months to a year. If the relationship is even longer, then saying goodbye becomes even harder. Why does this happen? You see, our parents empowered us to love ourselves, but our sexual relationships tend to teach that we should love the other and show the other our love at every possible opportunity. Why? Love can cloud our goal to love ourselves. It can compel us to care for the interests of the other. Here's the dilemma. If we meet someone who already comfortably loves themselves, it may feel like we don't contribute to their happiness, so we feel inadequate and seek attention elsewhere. This is a mistake. Real love blossoms when people love themselves so much that they have the emotional comfort to extend their love to someone who doesn't need it, but rather wants it, because despite all their success, they've come to realize that every human being desires the same thing: companionship. Being a good companion means being a good person first. And yes, we all have baggage, but I read in a meme moments that love gives you the courage to unpack that baggage for better or worse. Love is a powerful emotion that can take a person to the highest of highs, but can also drag that person to the lowest of lows. The only way to combat the negative impact of love is to explore the love of another with an equally powerful love for yourself. Communicate when you feel like you are sacrificing yourself for the love of another. Explore the feelings, and remember, love is sacrifice. I decided to look up on YouTube the question, what is love, by simply asking the YouTube search engine, what is love? And 3 of the first 5 answers to my question were clips for the band Haddaway and their song, What is Love?, which was probably made most popular by Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan in A Night at the Roxbury. I found this to be a sad reality that on a platform that encourages and invites people to share content with each other for the simple opportunity, yet no one before me is asking the question on YouTube, what is love, and creating a video for people to watch to learn what is love. I've been told many times that I'm kind of a pioneer. I do things different from everybody else. I don't like to follow the cattle, and I love to go against the grain. These are all things I have been told by many different people who don't know each other, but get to know me and draw the conclusion. Well, if that's true, then I have to, as I always do, trust my gut, listen to my instincts, and produce this series, so that when people do go onto YouTube and ask the question one day, which they will, what is love, my video can pop up, and hopefully it'll have, 100,000 views by then, because I'm trying to answer a question for not only my generation, but the previous generation, the next generation, and the generation after that, and the generations to come. Because forever and a day, we will always be experiencing the emotion of love. It will always exist, and we will always pass it down from generation to generation. But what is still unclear is whether or not we will be wiser with love in the next generation than when we were in the previous. Because it seems like we continue to make the same mistakes. And I would like to help people to avoid some of these mistakes. So keep watching and listening, and stay tuned for the next upload. Till then.
What is love? Oh, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.